Hello folks, Bill Treadway coming at you again with ABCs to Wealth. Just want to touch base with you about some of the latest headlines that are going on in the market right now. A few days earlier I had used this picture of the Wizard of Oz to explain how the markets, the media was using basically a bait and switch tactic, how they were coming across as the Wizard of Oz did to the travelers who were looking for some help from the wizard. They came into the wizard's presence, and this is what they saw. Excuse me. They saw a ominous figure up in the air with fire and smoke and a loud voice and booming voice, and they were afraid because of what they had seen. But as they had gone on, they found out that the wizard actually wasn't as big and as bad as he presented himself to be, because he was actually a human being just like they were. He was only on the side controlling what they saw, and he was actually just a human being, a man like them. When in reality they had inside of them the whole time what they needed. So basically, what he had there, the Wizard of Oz, basically had a bait and switch. He showed them this and then made them do things out of their fear that they would not normally have done, in order for them to find pleasure in the wizard's eyes and to hopefully have him grant them their wishes. Well, we as far as the headlines and as far as the media and as far as the financial institutions go that are presenting to us the cryptocurrency market, they are doing the same thing. They're coming across with headlines like this. This one here comes from Bloomberg, and it states, Wall Street quietly shelves its Bitcoin dreams. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and many more built it, but they didn't come. So if you look at just the headlines here, you start to think, okay, well, Wall Street's backing off in Bitcoin. That would explain why Bitcoin has gone down in value as it has in its prices and all. But as you go through the article here, you find out that the article is actually just really a bunch of smoke and mirrors. It says, squeamish from the start about pursuing profits in one of the darker corners of finance, established firms this year slowed their already halting efforts to make a business out of Bitcoin mania. While none has thrown in the towel and some continue to develop a trading infrastructure, most flinched as the value of virtual coins collapsed. So if you read that, and if you read the rest of the article, you would think exactly what the article, the title actually says. Wall Street's quietly shelving its Bitcoin dreams. If you just looked at the title, you would say, oh wow, maybe I shouldn't get into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and maybe I should just kind of sit on the sidelines and wait for the stock market to go back on the good side where it starts to gain back some of what it lost, and then I'll get back into it. Well, that's exactly what these guys want you to do, because of the fact that when the price of the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, comes down, these institutions like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley and MIT and Dartmouth and Yale and institutions like that, when the price goes down, then they scoop up bargains. They scoop up real cheap bargains. But here's actually what is going on when you look at some of the research here that you can find on the internet as you go through and as you do your own research and as you do your own work to look into what is behind the noise and the smoke and the mirrors that's going on. You find out things like this when you search. This is from the XRP Research Center. It says serious and regulated entities starting crypto trading activities in 2019. So this certainly does not sound like the Wall Street's quietly shelving its Bitcoin ambitions. Here are some of the people who are starting crypto activities in 2019. Bakkt, which is the New York Stock Exchange. You've got TD Ameritrade, Fidelity, and NASDAQ, and the Central Bank of England. You've got and I'm not sure I'm going to say this right, but Borsch Stuttgart, which is the one of the larger banks in Germany. Then you have the Swiss SIX exchange. Then you have the SBI, which has a 10% stake in Ripple, XRP. Then you have the DX dot exchange, and then you have Binance. Those are some big heavy hitters that are in the finance market, and they are getting ready to ramp up their activities in 2019. So it certainly does not seem like what the article that we looked at from Bloomberg is actually stating is true. Here's another article that goes on to tell us another side, the other side of the story, aside from what Bloomberg is saying. Is crypto assets will revolutionize financial services for those who play the long game. Now, true, there are gains to be made in the short run, but there are gains to be made in the long run too. You know, really what you want to do when you get into anything that you're going to be putting money into and you expect to see some kind of a return, you really ideally want to play some short games and you want to play some long games. You know, there are certain things that you look at in a cryptocurrency market and you'll say, okay, well, I'm going to put X amount of dollars in here and I'm going to go along with that and I'm going to set that off to the side and I'm just going to wait for it to mature and go up and gain in value. Then you have other ones that are for the short term, they'll go, you know that they're going to go up in value quickly and then come down somewhat quickly as well. Now, with the system that I use and the system that our team uses and the tools that we have available to us to help us to navigate through the cryptocurrency market and the tools that we have to tell us when to get in and when to get out of the market as far as Bitcoin, to get into Bitcoin, to get out of Bitcoin with the signals that we gain, and with the other tools for financial intelligence and for strategies that we have. I've been able to make a consistent return with the strategies that I've developed with the tools that are available to me. And if you guys would like to learn about the tools and the strategies that I use and that our team uses to create wealth and to protect and build wealth at the same time, the same tools and the same strategies that the wealthy elite use, then I suggest that you just look at the links below. And in looking at the links below, you'll find the link for the doorway into the system that we use and the information that you're going to need to look at. And there'll be some videos in there for you to check out. And then you can get rolling in the system once you hear about it. And you can contact me as well. My contact information will be inside that link there. And I look forward to hearing from you so that we can get a conversation started and then so that I can help you and assist you to get on the path to financial freedom, to prosperity, and to gaining wealth as the wealthy elite do, and learning the same strategies that they do and then implementing your own strategies. Also as well, if you are already in the blockchain technologies, if you already have some cryptocurrency, then you're also going to want to be able to protect that cryptocurrency so that nothing happens to it. So instead of keeping your money on an exchange, you can keep it on a hard wallet. So there's a link down there below that lets you gives you an information and a link to the Ledger Nano S, which is a hard wallet that will allow you to, once you purchase cryptocurrency and then once you put it where your finances where you want them to go in the cryptocurrency space, then this is a place where you can actually take what you've just set out and deposited into the financial into the cryptocurrency space to build your finances. This will give you a way to protect it and keep it safe so that it's not stored on a exchange, and you can have it and you'll know that it is not able to be touched at all until you touch it, until you open it up, until you do with the funds what you will. Nobody will ever be able to touch your funds that way. So the link's below. As far as the rest of that goes, guys, we'll talk to you on the next video. Take care. Have a good night.